This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Hi everybody, and welcome into the show this week, and I am sure you are well aware by now that we are right in the middle of some of the hottest weather of the season this year around the Southwest region. And what better time when the water temperatures are at their warmest to show you how to go out and still be successful at catching crappie around our region and stay cool while you're doing it. Best of both worlds. Right behind me you see a major main lake bridge, and on today's show we're going to teach you how to find and locate crappie on bridges all around our four-state region. And while I'm doing that, we're taking you around the region for all of your latest fishing reports from our team of reporters, Brian Hughes in Texas, Bill Olson down on the Texas Gulf Coast, Cajun Phil and Kevin in Louisiana, and Gary Dallahan up in Oklahoma. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to show you a great catfishing river float trip in southeast Texas. We're also taking you to Saguaro Lake in Arizona for some giant bass on Barry's Reel Fishing. And on the big catch of the week, we'll show you a big striper out of Lake Whitney. It's the fastest moving half hour in outdoor television, and we're gonna get set for some bridge crappie fishing on today's show. But first, you go back to the FSN studios where Heather has your Chevy weekend planner.
The Salinar tables indicate the peak fishing times during daylight hours this weekend will begin in the afternoon at 2:45 on Saturday and again at 3:40 on Sunday. The sun will begin rising at 6:49 a.m. and setting at 8:14. Nights are going to feature a crescent moon, 18% visible. There's not much time before the kids head back to school this year, so get outside with the family while you still can. Have a great weekend, everyone. Now back to Barry.
There's one. All right, something's here. Be a crappie. Be a crappie. Oh yeah, good crappie. Oh, he jumped off. Oh well, that proves to us that something's out here. Well, we've made it out under the bridge, and I'll just go ahead and tell you the first factor you want to find out is the depth that the crappie are in. You want to drive up and down the bridges. You want to find somewhere between about 15 and 30 feet of water, and I happen to be in about 33 right now. And then you want to start experimenting with your spinning rod and crappie jig to see what level the crappie are at, and I'll give you a big hint. They're not always on the bottom. In fact, this time of the year, most of the time they're suspended up. We'll talk some more about finding that depth, but stay with us. When we come back, Cajun Phil and Kevin are up next with Cajun Bites from Louisiana. Let's see what's going on.
This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Got him. There we go. What do we got? Crappie. Not a big one, but something to get it going. Welcome back, everybody. You're on your Southwest Outdoors Report today, talking about cool summertime bridge fishing. And I want to show you one of the coolest things about this. If you look back here at my Lowrance HDS 7, which is actually in my dash, you can see that the outside air temperature under this bridge is only 91 degrees. And I can tell you that the forecast high today is 107. And so it's about 15 or 16 degrees cooler under this bridge, and the breeze kind of funnels in underneath here and it cools you off a little bit. So that's one of the great things about it. Now, the first thing you need to get comfortable with doing is pull up to these bridge pilings right here, and you need to be able to fish vertically. No real reason to cast under these, so what I like to do is ease up here with the trolling motor, and the first thing I want to do is drop it right next to the piling, let it go to the bottom, and then once it gets to the bottom, I'll start working it. Hold it still, give it a little hop every once in a while. Okay, now it's on the bottom. And work it right in close to them. Now, a lot of times they will scatter out away from the pilings, so you need to work at least about a 10 to 12 foot diameter around each one of these in order to locate where the crappie are on that particular day. Okay, I'm gonna ease along here, several of these, see where the crappie are, but you're going with Cajun Phil and Kevin down to Louisiana.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana Fish Report. Whew, I tell you what, I got some bass reports from all across the state. I tell you what, with this heat, going almost 100 degrees each and every day, I would suggest either going out early in the morning, late in the afternoon, or try some nighttime fishing. It doesn't matter whether you're going Saltwater fishing, I would do under the lights, wait till the shrimp and the minnows get on top. When they do, you start chunking and catching them redfish and speckled trout. As far as the nighttime bass fishing, we talked to folks at Toledo Bend, Lake Caddo, Falls River, and the Chaffalaya Basin. They catch a good fish at night. You don't need any lights, you don't need a full moon. Dark nights work just as well. What you want to do is throw buzz baits or spinner baits in the shallow water around the grass beds. If you're fishing with a plastic worm, I look for humps and ridges. Say, sit your boat in about 15, 20 foot, throw up on about 5 or 8 foot of water, you're going to catch some pretty nice bass fishing tonight, and it's a lot cooler. As far as the saltwater action, I talked to Captain Kevin a while ago. He's already got a limit of speckled trout this morning. He's working on the redfish. He's catching most of the speckled trout using live shrimp under a popping cork. He's catching reds on Seville topwater lures and on plastic. Talked to Tofield Bourgeois down in Lafitte, Louisiana. He's catching some pretty good reds on the north end of Barataria Bay. He said fish is pretty good right there. Talked to Captain Jack in Hopedale and Delacroix. Those two guys, they're catching lots of fish down there. And I tell you what, speckled trout are by big numbers. Give me a call, 337-540-5530, or just email me at CajunPhil@hotmail.com. We'll pitch you a touch of some of these guys and tell you what, you too can catch some of these night fish. Remember, it's hot right now. Go fishing at night. Till next time, this is Cajun Phil for Captain Kevin, who's out there fishing right now. Said happy fishing and may God bless. We'll see you folks next week.
This week on Barry's Real Fishing, we head west for some huge bass. Here is some vintage footage of a fantastic trip to the Arizona desert that features Barry and a double-digit bass.
Welcome to Arizona, to a beautiful lake about a half-hour northeast of metropolitan Phoenix, Arizona, called Saguaro Lake. Now the chain of lakes starts where?
Starts up at Roosevelt Lake, and it gets the Salt and the Tonto River. And right there's our best lake, probably bass lake overall. It goes down into Apache Lake, and then Canyon, and then into here in the Saguaro. Now this one sort of is a catch-all for all the lakes. It's got walleye, it's got every kind of fish that swims in all our lakes.
There's one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, man. There we go. That's a beautiful fish. Right here on a sheer rock wall. And you can see behind us here, that thing goes up there 100 feet or so. How deep is the water here?
I'd say about 45, 50 feet.
Good grief. So that's your next lesson on clear water fishing, is don't be afraid to throw out over open water, because in this clear water, fish will suspend, and you can catch them by either ripping a big spinnerbait over the top of their heads and they'll come up and get it, or the jerkbait. Got him?
Yeah.
Big one, big fish right here. I got the trolling motor.
Here he comes.
Look at that. Let me help you lift it. Oh, that's a giant. Golly. Look what you did.
That's a pretty good one. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, man. I'd high five you right there.
Yeah.
Bud, look at that. Mercy, look at that giant. How big is it, John?
I'd say you'd have to go 10 pounds, so wouldn't you?
You bet. That's an easy 10-pounder. That's incredible, folks.
Stay with us. The Texas fishing updates are on the way. But first, here is a look at the current leaders in this year's CCA State of Texas Anglers Rodeo Scholarship Division. The competition wraps up on Labor Day weekend, so there isn't much time left to get involved. Visit their website to find out how you can have a chance to win part of over $1 million worth of prizes offered in this year's competition.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life, by Navionics. We start where the road ends, by Whataburger, just like you like it, and by Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water.